You know, being a rookie in the NBA is already tough enough, but factor in being a rookie during this particular NBA season. Remember, there was no summer league, there was a shortened preseason, the schedule for the games this year, all out of whack, no fans in the arenas. It has made evaluating this year's rookie class especially challenging. But in today's video, I'm breaking down every lottery pick from the 2020 NBA draft and giving you my grade for how they're doing so far this season. Thanks for tuning into today's video, guys. If you're new here, my name is Troy. Welcome to the channel. This video is for the first 14 picks of the draft. But you know what? If I get 500 likes on this video, then I'll give grades for the rest of the players that were in the first round in my next video. Players like Cole Anthony, Tyrese Maxey, Emmanuel Quickley, you know, everybody in the first round. And while you're here, if you enjoy videos about the NBA, click subscribe so you never miss an upload. I post a few times a week, and when there's breaking news in the NBA, which there often tends to be, I'm going to go live on this channel, so make sure you're subbed up so you don't miss it. The first pick in the 2020 NBA draft was Anthony Edwards. He was picked by the Minnesota Timberwolves. This guy's production has been all over the place, coming off the bench for a pretty bad Timberwolves team. He's had a couple good games, then he'll have a few bad games, then another good game. I'm getting major Dion Waiters vibes from the Ant-Man. Still, though, he has plenty of time to be good, but there have been a lot of growing pains for him this season. I don't know, he could have been a mistake with that number one pick, especially with all the other guys who were still out there that I'm going to talk about in this video. The grade for Anthony Edwards so far is a C+. At number 2, the Golden State Warriors selected James Wiseman. He's looking like a typical rookie with your typical ups and downs. He's actually picked things up a lot quicker than I thought he would, though. I would like to see his rebounding get a little bit better, and his three-point shooting from earlier in this season has taken a complete nosedive, so I'd like to see that improve too. He also just lost his starting job to Kevon Looney. Maybe that'll be a blessing in disguise, though. Keep Wiseman in that second unit for a little bit. Let him feast on some of the backups in the league. He is definitely part of the Warriors' future, though. Gonna serve as a bridge from Clay and Steph and Draymond to that new Warriors era. My grade for James Wiseman so far is an A-. The Charlotte Hornets picked LaMelo Ball at number 3. He's really been impressing me. LaMelo is the rookie leader in assists and rebounds. He's top 5 for rookies in points per game, and he's doing this all in under 25 minutes per game. He's also the youngest player to ever get a triple-double. As for his game, his shooting has been better than advertised. By all accounts, he's a very coachable player. He knows his role. He is helping to keep Charlotte in that playoff race, and he is a future franchise player for the Hornets if he's not there already. This pick was awesome the second that it happened, and my grade for LaMelo Ball so far is an A+. At number 4, the Chicago Bulls selected Patrick Williams. And I'll be honest, I thought Patrick Williams was going to be a Stanley Johnson level bust. He is proving me wrong, though. Not quite sure he justifies yet the Kawhi Leonard comparisons that I've been seeing from some Bulls fans, but I do like his intensity, and for being one of the youngest players in the NBA, he has been really impressive so far. I think the Bulls got a good one with this pick. My grade for Patrick Williams so far is an A+. Isaac Okoro was picked by the Cleveland Cavaliers with the number 5 pick. The thing about Okoro, he was a bad shooter in college, and that has followed him to the NBA. On the defensive side, though, he is one of the reasons the Cavaliers are doing as well as they're doing. It does help that he has guys like Colin Sexton and Darius Garland playing along with him to help shoulder some of that offensive load. Okoro, though, just keep developing that shot. And I think the Jimmy Butler and Andre Iguodala comparisons might actually happen. My grade for Isaac Okoro so far is a B-. At number 6, ONYEKA OKONGWU went to the Atlanta Hawks. I did not understand this pick when it happened, and I still don't. OKONGWU hasn't had a ton of run this season because he missed the first 10 games recovering from an injury. So far, at very limited minutes, he is showing potential as a rebounder and a shot blocker. With the Hawks, though, I just don't know where he fits in this rotation. He's behind guys like Clint Capella, who is putting up insane numbers, so there's no way that ONYEKA is going to play ahead of a guy like that or some of the other guys in the front court. Really a shame, but the grade for ONYEKA OKONGWU so far is a C. At number 7, the Detroit Pistons selected Killian Hayes. Really sad story for Hayes this season. He started 7 games at point guard before a hip injury. Now he is out until at least late March, early April, could be even longer. And I do have questions as to how that hip injury is going to impact him long term, because those hip injuries can be pretty tricky. When Hayes did play, it was a really mixed bag for Detroit. In his 7 games, we saw some really bad shooting, but we also saw some pretty good decision-making and passing when Hayes was on the floor. It's really too bad about the injury because I think he was improving little by little, and now we might not get to see him again until next year. The grade for Killian Hayes so far is a C-. At number 8, the New York Knicks selected Obi Toppin, aka Obtop, aka Obi-Wan Topnobi. Been a rough go for Obtop as well this season. He missed basically the first 10 games of the year. When he has played, not shooting it well from 3, or really from 2, for that matter. I'd like to see him get a few more minutes on the floor, because I think the dude is an awesome athlete, and I think he has a pretty good basketball IQ. Until then, though, I can only go on what he has been showing me, and right now, I think that Immanuel Quickley, who the Knicks picked toward the end of the first round, is the better rookie in New York. The grade for Obi Toppin so far is a C+. At number 9, the Washington Wizards selected Deni Avdija. It has been a rocky start for the Wizards this year. It has been really, really bad for them. As for Deni, though, I wouldn't say his numbers are bad, but you could say he isn't really being used the best way that he could. This is a guy who was drafted based on his skills as a point forward, and a guy who could get his teammates involved. Coach Scott Brooks, though, has been using him more as a 3-and-D guy. To Deni's credit, though, he's been defending it well, which isn't really a surprise, but he's also been hitting that three-pointer at a good rate, which is a bit surprising, considering that was one of the knocks on his game coming into this year. The Wizards are bad, but Deni Avdija is a bright spot for this team. My grade for him so far this year is a B. Jalen Smith went to the Suns with the number 10 pick. I had no idea why the Suns were doing this pick. I guess maybe they saw him as a guy who could eventually play with DeAndre Ayton, but that has not happened. Smith has only played a handful of games due to health and safety protocols. Very similar situation to ONYEKA OKONGWU. Just haven't really seen enough of Smith to rate him super high. He's not getting an awful lot of minutes, so I don't have a good feel for him yet. The grade for Jalen Smith so far is a C. The San Antonio Spurs picked number 11, and they selected Devin Vassell. I was reading a recent article from The Ringer written by Dan Devine. He called Devin Vassell an instant impact perimeter defender. And I think that's true, because Vassell has an all-around skill set. He has become an integral part of the Spurs bench. His steal rate is insane. He hits the 3 at a pretty good clip. He's the perfect type of player for today's NBA. At this rate, I would not be surprised to see Devin Vassell starting by the end of the year for the Spurs. My grade for Devin Vassell is an A-. The Sacramento Kings picked Tyrese Haliburton at number 12. And when was the last time the Kings had a good draft pick? So props to their new front office for getting it right. To be honest, though, when Tyrese Haliburton fell this far in the draft, it was a no-brainer for him to be picked. He plays like a veteran out there, like he's been in the NBA for 5 or 10 years. He brings calmness and maturity to the court. He makes his teammates better. Yeah, his shot is a little bit ugly, but it goes in. He's been killing it from 3, so as long as that's working for him, keep going. I think Tyrese is going to make Buddy Hield expendable on this team sooner rather than later. He is my early pick for Rookie of the Year, and my grade for Tyrese Haliburton so far is an A+. Lucky number 13, the New Orleans Pelicans selected Kira Lewis Jr. Again, with some other guys on this list, not a ton of games to evaluate him, only 7 games as I record this video. The hope when Kira was picked was that he could be a guy who could be a scorer, but he hasn't shown that a lot as of yet. He also hasn't shown much in the way of rebounding or assists. The jury is still out, but until then, I gotta go with my grade for Kira Lewis Jr. as a C. The last pick in the lottery was Aaron Nesmith, who was picked by the Celtics. Similar story, like a lot of guys on this list, hasn't played a ton. Been a little disappointed with Aaron Nesmith's shooting because he was money from 3 in college, but in the NBA, he's shooting barely over 30%. Last couple of games, though, he has shot it a little better. He looks like he's getting a little more comfortable on defense. Probably not going to get a whole lot from Nesmith this year, so he and the Celtics are just focused on getting a good basketball foundation and building for the future. My grade for Aaron Nesmith so far is a C-. Guys, that's what I think, but tell me your grades in the comments and what you think of my grades. Remember, if I get this video to 500 likes, then I'm going to do the rest of the first round and give you my grades for those players in my next video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Really helps me out, really helps in growing the channel. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Troy, and I'll catch you on my next video.